taking again a step back, thinking about what energy actually does. Well, energy is supposed to give us secure supply of energy, and it's supposed to make that secure and reliable supply on the right affordable, right, to us, right, to make it affordable, yeah. And of course, we also do all this with the least environmental impact. So we have to protect our environment for long-term reasons. And the environment, of course, is a complex issue. There's the climate issue, there's the pollution, there's plant and animal life, there is the land and space use, and of course, there's the material input. How many materials do we need to provide the energy to ourselves? And then there's the energy input, which actually, how much energy do we need to provide the energy to ourselves? Because even to generate electricity takes energy first, right? So I think this is something, these are this famous triangle of objectives of energy policy. Now, looking at energy historically, and now we're talking here the past 200 years, you can see how green we were. We only burned biomass and woods in Europe and the US, right? I mean, we were very, very green. We were living only of biomass primarily. And literally, Europe, my own continent where I grew up, there was not many forests left. I mean, we had cut all those trees to keep us warm, right? And also to construct whatever materials we have, our houses and all those things. Then the Industrial Revolution came. We found coal. Luckily, we found oil and gas, and nuclear, is yellow here, came up. Hydro became a significant portion of our global primary energy. It's just primary energy here. And then wind and solar and other renewables started to creep up in the past decades. Now, what's interesting is that actually last year, 80% of all our energy worldwide came from fossil fuels, coal, oil, and gas. 80% worldwide on average. Now, Europe, after $1 trillion of investment, managed to keep it down to 70%. So Europe today is 70% of primary energy coming from coal, oil, and gas. Wind and solar managed to actually already reach 4% of primary energy. It's quite significant. It's little compared to what we spent on it, but it's still a significant portion, 4% of global primary energy. The question now is, what happens in the future? And what will happen is, well, I point out being a little coal man, I always say, okay, global coal share, by the way, is 1/3 of electricity, 36% actually, to be correct, and 25% of primary energy comes from coal. Now, what happens in the future is that we will need more energy. Why do we need more energy? People talk about energy conservation and reduction of energy demand, all things. Yes, in the West, we are now at a level where we can start talking, to have more efficient lights, bulbs, and more efficient cars, and all those things. But there is a sort of kind of law, that Jevons paradox, which says every time you reduce your consumption of energy, you find new things that actually increase your consumption again. Talking the cloud, right? Talking flying to the moon, right? Having now 3 cars instead of 1 car, having now 3 phones instead of 1 phone. I mean, you just think about the electrification we're doing. We will actually increase our total energy demand continuously, even in the Western world. So where we start saving energy, we will start adding new uses of energy. So I would argue that in the West will more or less stay stable. Now, what happens in the developing nation? Well, the developing nation is very simple. The energy per capita increase will on average increase by 20% purely because of nascent nations such as Bangladesh, Pakistan, Thailand, Nigeria. All these countries, they're going to just try to come closer to our own per capita consumption. And that on average will give us a 20% per capita energy increase in the next 27 years. At the same time, population is going to grow 25% from 8 billion to 10 billion in the next 27 years. So that gives you the 50%. Make it 40%, make it 35%, doesn't matter. There will be a significant demand increase going forward.